So just in the shadow of Rahealty Castle, or the ruins of what was Rahealty Castle, we're actually this far away, and I'm right beside what is Rahealty graveyard. It's quite old now, a lot of these headstones won't be legible, but let's go in and see what we can find. Luckily enough, I met the gentleman who is the caretaker here, and he left the gate open for me, so I don't have to play Spider-Man and scale any of the walls. Okay, so the first thing that we have here is actually a beautiful crucifix. Could do with a power wash, but it's absolutely beautiful. And you don't see too many of them still standing, so seem to have been quite sheltered, which is great. So we have that standing. So let's see if there's any of these. And as you can see, this type of stone that was so commonly used, it doesn't weather at all. Okay, so just behind the crucifix here we have a Bridget Hickey. Okay, Bridget Hickey, erected by Bridget Hickey in loving memory of Timothy Hickey, who died the 16th of, okay, so I'm trying to get closer, 16th of January, J-N-U-R-Y, 1904, I think. Aged 58 years. I'm not sure what the rest of it says, I'm afraid. Very hard to read, and this one beside it, in loving memory of Patrick Hickey, died November 21st, 1899, aged, it says age, then you can see where the stone is broken. Also his wife Johanna died March, and it's broken 1899, aged 87. Their daughter, or something Hickey, their daughter, I think it says D anyway, died the 25th, or the 25th, age 79 years. We don't know what year because of this here. Somebody else died March 1932, and their son William Hickey died 15th July 1940, aged 78 years. So again, not entirely easy to read. As you can see, the weather has taken its toll. And then this one, let's see, no idea what that says. I don't know if it'll come across better on the camera. (1891) by the looks of it. Unfortunately they're so weather worn. And then there's a last grave over here. Of Laurence Flynn. Laurence Flynn died the 22nd of December 1937. His wife Anne died 25th of January 1967, and his brother Philip died 25th of December 1934. And it looks like the rest of it is blank. So just the three of them buried there. even though it's very well cared for cemetery, and my welcoming committee is getting very curious about why I'm here. They've been following me around while I've been walking in through the fields, because there's no direct road access to this graveyard. It's literally in the middle of a field. Okay, and again, none of these graves are legible, unfortunately. I was hoping that they would be, but they are not. On this one you can just about see that there's a cross on it, but as to who is buried here, it may be a mystery. Unfortunately, the weather seems to have got the better of that stone, and there's some beautiful carvings on it. Oh, here's one. Okay, I don't know if you can read it on camera, but it does say, erected by Thomas Crone in memory of his son Rody Crone, Pervial Cottage, the Thurles, who died on the 26th of May 1900, aged 26 years, and also his wife, who died in 1906, Johanna, I think, Crone, died in 1906, aged, I think that's 65 years, it could be 66 years, it could be 86 years, it's something like that anyway, but well over 100 years. I'm sorry now, my nose is starting to run because it's quite windy, and I've been walking across about 6 fields to get here, so oh, here we go. And also on this side of this grave it says Mrs. Mary Anne Stapleton, daughter of Thomas Crone, Crone, who died, I'm not sure, the 22nd or the 7th maybe of May 1941, aged 65 years, and his son, again another son, James Crone, who died February the 3rd, I think 1947, aged 88 years or 68 years, and Mary Crone, niece, a wife of James, died, I think it's the 13th, oh no, something the 18th, November the 18th, I think it's November the 18th, 1955. I'm sorry if I was leaning across the microphone to read that, it's not easy to read. And then beside it we have this beautiful cross. Let's see. Oh, well, I suppose it would be better if if I was reading the right side of the headstones. I assumed that because the cross was at the head of the church that would be. Let's see. This is in memory. Okay, if you can see, we have somebody that's here keeping an eye on me that I don't do any damage, and her motley crew backing her up there. Okay, so let me see if I can read this one. It's a Reverend James Quinn, no, Sullivan, Quinn, I think, late, okay, he died in 1899, aged 64 years, October the 20th, 1899, aged 64 years. I think that's Reverend Quinn. The rest of it isn't very legible, unfortunately. So back to the Crones. This is the one we were at before. To the memory of something Crone. Died November the 9th, 1861. Age 16 years, 63 years. I'm not sure, there's a 6 in there somewhere. a good husband and parent, and a generous husband, member of society. Also his beloved wife Mary Crone died, I'm not really sure what that says, 72 years when she died anyway, so not very legible there. Bless. Okay, so here's one that we might be able to read. I'm going to kneel down and see, and I'm sorry if I'm moving the camera while I'm talking. I'm trying to read it, so I'm not necessarily looking at the screen. It's Margaret Ganon, Ganon it looks like. It's erected by her in memory of her father Thomas Flynn, Moynard. Now Moynard is just down the road here. Also her mother Natasha Flynn Neymar, her brothers William, Peter and Thomas, and her sisters Johanna, Mary and Ellen. God bless them. All buried there together. I'll come back to those ones. Obviously the crucifix is at the foot of the graveyard and not the top, as I assumed it would be. Okay, so this is John Gerard Flynn, Rahealty. Well, this is Rahealty graveyard. This is Rahealty NS, Rahealty National School, which is just, if you were to go past the castle, across the fields there, you would come to Rahealty National School. Died the 28th of October 1912, aged 16 years. Oh, bless. And his infant brother Laurence died 20th of March 1903. Peter Flynn, is it Flynn? Yeah. Aged, goodness knows, but he died 1945. It looks like 79 or 29. It might be 29 years. It's hard to tell. Also his wife Mary Blake, I think, died 28th of November 1945, R.I.P. Just a little inscription at the bottom. Okay, and it looks like we might have some, I don't know, that doesn't look like a rabbit hole to me, maybe badgers or something. Okay, so let's see who this is. Gloria in excelsis Deo, erected by Mary. I'm sorry now if I'm shaking the camera, I'm trying to get close enough that I can see you. I'll find it the same way. It looks like Hackett, in memory of her brother Martin Hackett. Deeply departed this world, and then all this side of the headstone is completely faded, so this is obviously where the wind and the rain is coming in, and the rest of it then, I don't know, sometimes these things are better read through the camera. There's also a William Flynn, I think, I'm not sure, but there's that headstone. Okay, so bear with me and I will see if I can, it's getting a bit windy here too. Okay, so the top of it isn't at all legible in any way. Here lies the body of William Ryan I don't know. I really can't make that out. I'm gonna just video that and maybe it'll come out. Sometimes these things come out better on the camera, and maybe it's my eyes. I don't know, I'm not wearing glasses, which may help me a little bit if I did wear them, but okay, there's nothing to be read on those, unfortunately. So let's come back here. Okay, and that one, totally illegible. Just to double check, there is a cross on the back of it. There is actually some writing, so there doesn't seem to be any. Some are facing one way and some are facing the other way, but this one isn't legible at all. So I don't know who that one might be, I'm afraid to say. Okay, so let's have a look. Some more here, which aren't legible either, unfortunately. And these ones will come back to the Flynns there. It's not that big a graveyard. There seems to be the ruins of some kind of old church here as well. So let's see. Erected by John Burke of Rahealty in memory of his father. He died July the 12th, 1818, aged 46 years. Gosh, such a young man. Also his wife Elizabeth, she died June 1869 by the looks of it. That can't be right. Maybe it is right. It's not really that legible. I start from the top and go down. Okay, but that's definitely Burke. Richard Burke. Richard Burke and his wife. Okay. Okay, so I'm not really sure what this one says. It's not at all legible here. These are very old graves, but that one's 200 years old anyway, and this one, it's not legible either. This one. Here's one which seems to have been well taken care of. So we start at the top. Erected by John Flynn, Flinn, which is an unusual spelling here. It's normally Flynn. John Flynn of Rahealty, in memory of his grandfather Patrick, who died November the 9th, 1800. Gosh, this is 223 years old and it's very well kept. He died November the 9th, 1800, aged 84 years. Also his father John, who died 24th September 1833, aged 78 years, and also his wife Judith Marr, who died August the 23rd, 1864, aged 58 years, R.I.P. Amen. And then we've also got Laurence Flynn. He was born the 30th of November 1899 in Rahealty, and he died the 28th of December 1978 in Cork, and he was a Garda sergeant down in Cork. And if you're from the States, the Garda or the Gardaí Síochána, they are police force here in Ireland. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that the way the sun is shining. This says the sacred to the memory of John Flynn Rahealty, died May the 12th, 1888, aged 85. His daughter Catherine died February the 12th, 1881, aged 33. and his sons Laurence died 10th of January 1894, aged 45, and Patrick died 24th of February 1914, aged 75 years. His wife Johanna, née Parkinson, died 24th of September 1932, aged 68 years. Rest in peace. And we'll just step around. There's nothing on the other side of that grave, so I guess that's all the inscriptions for the Flynns. So if you see, John Flynn was spelled Flinn when he died in 1800, but by the time Laurence died in 1978 it was changed to Flynn, and I guess there would have been a lot of that because obviously Ireland got its independence in the interim, and we went back to the Gaelic spellings of the names. A lot of people started to use O, which wasn't allowed under British rule, and went back to the Irish spellings of the names. So I'm guessing that that's where that discrepancy comes from. Erected by Winifred Flynn in memory of her beloved Mr. Laurence Flynn of Rahealty, who left this life January 22nd, and then this is just completely gone, unfortunately, aged 61 years. May his soul rest in peace. Also her son, I'm just going to kneel down here, her son William Flynn, who died July the 25th, 1864, aged 22 years. And Winifred Flynn, and this is Flynne, died 17th of June 1885, aged 80 years. Also her son Michael died 16th, I'm not sure, I think it says 16th November 1883, aged 68 years. Also Mrs. Mary Flynn died 27th of December 1816, aged 79 years. 79 years, maybe 73 years. But it's definitely 1816 anyway. Okay. So that's more Flynns. And then this one here, again, not entirely legible. Let's see. I'm sorry if I'm close up on the camera. I'm trying to read it. Kneel down. Here lies Patrick. I think this is another Flynn. It's 1800 though. There's a lot of it that can't be read. Even though you think that maybe it was in the shade of the ruins of the church, it doesn't seem to be. And I'm not sure what that says either. But it's definitely a Patrick Flynn anyway. 1800 is when he died. Now somebody cut down a tree here, and there's this a grave and then a small little stone which probably isn't legible. Let's have a look. This is Burke anyway. Let me see. William Burke. Lots of Williams and Michaels in Ireland. I think that says 1819. I'm going to leave this one down here, which you're not going to get anything off of either. It's sad that these are gone so bad that we can't read them. So there isn't that many here. So let's have a look over here, and we'll start from here. Again. There's the odd word here that's legible, but not a lot. don't know, the body of his father. And then see, all this left hand side is weather-worn. He departed this life, and then it goes down to the next line, and it's, I think it could be 1812 or 1912. I'd imagine 1812, just judging by the age of the headstone, age 52 years. But it's not really very clear, I'm sorry to say. It's getting overgrown there. And this one then is the same. They're just here so long. Let's see. This one, unfortunately, the headstone is broken, and it looks like somebody did try and fix it at some stage, but unfortunately there isn't anything to see there. I'm sorry, I fell into a hole there and the camera slipped. Okay, there's actually a nice little pattern there if you can make it out. It's almost like a St. Bridget's cross, but unfortunately I don't think there's much more on this grave that we're going to be able to read. Very disappointed in that. There's a Thomas here anyway, and a Bridget, but all of this side is completely faded. But it says here Thomas, and it says here Bridget, and there's no dates or anything that can be read on that, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the graveyard is just so old. I see some of them have fallen foul to the weather, our grand soft Irish weather. And this one, the cross is blown off the top of the headstone. But this one is to the memory of Mary S. Sweeney? Looks like Mary Sweeney. K-E-Y Keys. Died the 29th of November 1890. I'm sorry now if I'm too close to the headstone for you. I'm trying to record my voice while reading this. And her husband, John Sweeney, died 28th of March 1898. Or 1908. It's not very clear. It's 1898 or 1908. Aged 72 years. I can't read what age she was. It's too faded. But husband and wife, John and Mary Sweeney. God rest their souls. Okay. Someone's planted a lovely tree there. So let's have a look. We have graves around on this one. I suppose that they might not mind if I got a little bit closer to the grave, so I'll ask for their forgiveness for this. Okay, so it is a beautiful Celtic cross. Okay, Sacred Heart. Edward Purcell. Hold on, let me get closer. Russell? It's Russell, not Purcell. March 14th, is it? It is really hard to read. Hold on. Oh, I beg your pardon. Okay, that's a townsland. I'm not sure what it says, but it says where he's from. Who died the 5th of, it's an M month, March, May 1848, aged 89 or 69 years, and then the rest is totally illegible, but it is definitely an Edward Russell, 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 who died the 5th of May 1848, I think. 1948, it's just hard to read, so excuse me for walking across you, Edward. God rest your soul, and whoever else lays there with you that we can't read their names. So let's see. Again, we've got a beautiful, all these are beautiful Celtic crosses, look, they're fabulous. Okay, so bear with me, and let's see, and again I'm coming closer than we should do. This is more Russells. Edmond Russell. I'm actually feeling the words as if they're Braille. This is 1882. Aged 48 years. 20. January the 25th, I think, 1882. And I don't know if you can see it on there, but it is just so hard to read anything on these graves. So I do apologise. And again, I do apologise to them that I'm walking on their graves. And this is another beautiful Celtic cross. I do love the Celtic crosses, but as you've seen from other graves, they do tend to weather and fall off of the top of the graves if they're not looked after very well. This is more Russells. I'm trying to see. I don't know, it's definitely Russell. It was erected by somebody Russell in memory of his father, Edward Russell, of, I don't know what that Townsend is. He died the 2nd of April 1818, aged 84 years, and his son, looks like it ends in S-H-E-R. I don't know what name that could be. John Russell died 23rd. I'm not sure. He was 58 years when he died. This is J-O-H-E. There's a Teresa Russell, 26th of September 1869, age 78 years, and a Mary Russell died 1949. I can only pick out the odd word there, folks, I'm afraid, but that's what I get from it. Now, another beautiful Celtic cross, and as you can see, the top of it is coming loose. So, erected by Michael Russell in memory of his father, Edmond Russell, who died the 25th of December 1910, aged 66 years. Also his mother, Anne Russell, died the 24th of November 1897, aged 53 years. And his daughter, Anne, died November the 2nd, that 1914 or 1814? Go back, Father Edmond Russell. Yeah, he's definitely 1910. The mother died in 1897, and his daughter looks like 1914, aged 1 year and 10 months. Also his son Patrick died May the 12th, 1897, no, 1907, aged 16 years, R.I.P. So the Russells had some tragedy in their family, God rest their souls. At this side, I don't know what this first part says, it's very faded. But then we've got Catherine Katie Russell, died 21st of December 1962, aged 96 years. And Margaret Russell, wife of above mentioned, died 24th of November 1966. There's nothing on the back. Okay. And you can see this headstone is just kind of held up with some bricks and stuff. And there's nothing there, but it is a beautiful Celtic cross. And here beside it, so we have erected by James Loughnane, Loughnane of Britus. Oh, so Britus would be a bit over there. That's where my own grandparents are from. Of Britus, well, that's where they lived. It wasn't where they were originally from. In memory of his father, Timothy Loughnane of Ballyduff, and Ballyduff then would be the other direction, departed this life May 22nd, 1808, 1803, aged 76 years. Also his mother, let's see if I can get nearer and make that out. His mother, I really can't make out what that is. Maybe you can make it out. His mother, and then this name here. Looks like Shelby or something. These are Townsland. Some of them I know because obviously I have connections there with my own family, but I'm not sure what that says. Who died April 1803, I think, aged 79 years. Also the above died July 23rd, 1835, aged 60 years. So that would be James Loughnane, who died the 19th, I beg your pardon, July the 23rd, 1835. So these are quite old graves. Okay, and this is more Loughnans, but all I can make out is that it says Loughnane. The rest of it is, let's see. Something Loughnane, Rahealty, James and John. A lot of these are very weathered, so I wish I could get more out of them. But if we walk back here, this is the last one. I'll go back to the ones at the beginning. Again, we don't have much there. If we walk over here, I guess this was the old church a long, long time ago. It's just, unfortunately, a pile of stones at this point. And then the way out. Actually, hang on. And I thought you might be able to get in that way, but no, you can't. So my cows, as you can see, they gave up watching me. They're gone over for their dinner instead. But as you can see, there's nothing really that close to us here. There's a farmyard over at that side there, and this is Rahealty graveyard. Very well kept. I'm sorry that we can't read all of the headstones